On August 17th and 18th, 2026, India's Ministry of Defense signed a 1,943 crore rupee contract, about $203 million, with U.S. defense manufacturer General Atomics for 2 MQ-9B SeaGuardian drones. But the Indian Navy is not actually buying these aircraft. They are renting them for exactly 30 months. India already has a massive acquisition pipeline in motion to permanently purchase 31 of these exact drones across all 3 branches of the military. Dropping over $200 million on a temporary lease reveals a severe and immediate vulnerability in the maritime perimeter. The Navy recognized a threat that cannot wait for standard multi-year delivery schedules. Look at the western edge of India's maritime radar. On August 18th, a commercial vessel navigating the Strait of Hormuz was struck by a projectile during a dangerous spike in U.S.-Iran tensions. 80% of India's crude oil imports flow through this exact corridor. To protect these merchant ships, the Indian Navy actively deploys heavily armed warships on continuous patrol under Operation Sankalp. Simultaneously, thousands of miles to the east, Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy submarines and so-called research vessels are probing the waters of the Bay of Bengal and the approaches to the Malacca Strait. A guided missile destroyer is highly capable, but it moves at ocean speeds. Even with multiple ships deployed, they cannot maintain an unblinking real-time watch over both of these massive ocean sectors at the exact same time. Securing 2 vast, active crisis zones on opposite sides of the subcontinent requires continuous aerial surveillance, a logistical demand that stretches standard naval aviation to its breaking point. For the past decade, India's primary eye in the sky has been the Boeing P-8I Neptune, a highly advanced multi-engine maritime patrol aircraft. Flying a heavy, manned jet for daily, round-the-clock routine surveillance burns through thousands of gallons of jet fuel, rapidly consumes the aircraft's structural lifespan, and pushes human crews to physical exhaustion. The MQ-9B SeaGuardian bypasses those limitations entirely. It is a high-altitude, long-endurance platform, a drone specifically engineered to eliminate the logistical bottlenecks of human flight. A manned P-8I requires crew swaps and refueling after a few hours, while the SeaGuardian remains airborne for 30 continuous hours. Translated to geography, a single drone sweeps millions of square miles of the Indian Ocean without returning to base. By assigning the exhausting, routine patrol routes to the drones, the Navy preserves its manned P-8I fleet for specialized, heavy combat missions where human decision-making is strictly required. The SeaGuardian tracks targets using the Raytheon SeaVue radar. It stands a complete 360 degrees, picking up the radar signatures of tiny, low-profile stealth boats or the exposed periscope of a submarine, even through heavy rain and severe weather. It then takes that targeting data and uses an over-the-horizon satellite link to beam live 4K thermal video feeds directly from the middle of the ocean to naval commanders sitting in New Delhi. If the drone detects a potential submerged threat, it integrates directly with anti-submarine warfare systems. It drops sonar-equipped buoys into the water to actively ping and track deep-diving Chinese submarines. Unlike older military drones, the MQ-9B carries a specific airspace certification that allows it to fly safely and legally right alongside civilian commercial air traffic. These combined sensors take the vast, unpredictable expanse of the ocean and convert it into a transparent, searchable digital grid. That 30-month lease timeline directly aligns with the delivery schedule of India's permanent solution. Over the next few years, the military will receive its massive 31 drone procurement package across the Navy, Army, and Air Force. In parallel, India's Defense Research and Development Organization, along with domestic defense startups, are engineering indigenous unmanned platforms like the Ghatak stealth drone. Until those local platforms mature and the permanent fleet arrives, the rented SeaGuardians provide a secure, operational bridge. India is paying $203 million to buy critical time and guarantee airspace security during a period of intense geopolitical volatility. The Indian Navy already knows this platform works. Since late 2020, they have operated 2 previously leased SeaGuardians out of INS Rajali in Tamil Nadu, logging over 10,000 incident-free flight hours. In modern naval doctrine, detecting a threat before it crosses the horizon provides significantly more tactical value than simply fielding a larger number of ships. With these new units online, India's surveillance network stretches continuously from the oil choke points of the Strait of Hormuz to the eastern approaches of the Malacca Strait. By deploying an advanced high-altitude tracking network, the Indian Navy guarantees that adversarial movements across the Indian Ocean will be identified, tracked, and countered.